Hi, I'm Kai. I'm going to do the question 2 of homework 3 for probability and stochastic processes. And the question is that x is uniform in a bit and y is equal to x squared. And the first question is find and draw the density function of x and the distribution function of x. And we know that if y is a uniform distribution, and then its density function will be 1 over b minus 8 when x in a bit and 0 otherwise. And its distribution function will be 0 when x is less than 8, x minus 8 over b minus 8 when x in a bit, 1 when x is larger than b. And now we have the density function and distribution function, so we can draw the density function and the distribution function. For the problem B, given a is -1, b is 3, we need to find and draw the probability density function of y and the distribution function of y, and we need to calculate the expected value of y. At first, now we have AB, so we can write down the distribution function of x and the density function of x. And then for the y is less than 0, we know that the density function and the distribution function of y will be 0. When y in 0, 1, the distribution function of y is the probability of y is less than or equal to y. And we know y is equal to x squared. So we can write this one, and then we take the square root on both sides. Then we have the probability of negative square root of y is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to the square root of y. This one we can rewrite it as the probability function of x. So it will be the capital Fx of the square root of y minus the capital Fx of the negative square root of y. And we can get this term from the distribution function of x. So the first term will be the square root of y plus 1 over 4, and the second term will be the negative square root of y plus 1 over 4, and the final result will be 1/2 times the square root of y. For the density function, we can take the derivative of the distribution function, and the final result will be 1 over 4 times the square root of y. For y is larger than 1 and y is less than or equal to 9, we can use the same method to get the distribution function of y. But this term, big Fx of negative square root of y will be 0, because this one is less than -1. So the final result will be the square root of y plus 1/4. And for the distribution function, it's the same. We take the derivative, and the result will be 1/8 times the square root of y. For y is larger than 9, the distribution function of y will be 1 and the density function will be 0. So now we have the density function and the distribution function of y, and then we can draw these two functions here and here. And finally, we need to calculate the expected value of y, and it is equal to the integer from negative infinity to positive infinity, y times the density function of y times dy. And this term we can rewrite it as the integer from 0 to 1, y times the density function of y times dy, and the integer from 1 to 9, y times the density function of y times dy. And we add it together, and the final result will be 7/3.